When I get asked, Paul, what do you do? My answer is very simple. I solve sales problems, period.
Hell and destruction are never, ever full. Why? Because the eyes of man are never satisfied. Welcome to the Mindset and Attitude Podcast. I'm your host, Paul Cruz. This is going to be a very powerful topic. It's going to get some people angry. It's going to maybe wake some people up. Maybe get some people to think about situations that's going on right now. Regardless of your politics, this is irrelevant. What matters is what's truly going on and why it's happening. It's like a thief in the night. They're not going to tell you when they're going to rob you. They're going to surprise you, right? And try to rob you, right? Well, hell and destruction is all around us. Now, the word hell in Greek and in Hebrew means the grave. That's what it means. It doesn't mean, a place of fire all the time, like most people think it is. It means the grave. And the grave is never full. Why? Because people are always dying in one form or another, whether it's natural death, whether it's war, whether it's murder, rape. There's always death, right? And what causes hell to not be full? Destruction. What causes destruction? And what is destruction? First of all, pride comes before destruction. Does that make sense? And what leads to pride? Just remember this. The eyes of men are never satisfied. What leads to pride is the lust of the eyes, wanting more and more. The lust of the flesh, sexual perversion, never being satisfied. And the destruction of character. That's the cause. Think about it. This world, this society, it is so easy to explain and see why people are miserable, why so much death and destruction. I could go a little bit deeper, but I'm going to keep it simple for right now. Now, the eyes of man are never satisfied because the eyes of man are greedy. They always want more. If you make $1 million a month, you want to make 2 million. If you make 3 million, you want to make 4 million, right? You make $1 billion, you want to be 10 billion. You have one mansion, you got to get a second one. Regardless of the tax benefits and all those other things. The bottom line is this. Your eyes, the world's eyes, man's eyes are never ever satisfied. That's what leads to war. Men want to conquer other people's property, other people's country. That always leads to what? Destruction. Leads to hell. Leads to death, right? And it's never full. Now, why is that? There's several reasons why. It's because of man's reasoning always going against God's truth. That's just the way it is. We think, and humanity thinks, and leaders of this world think that they know what's best and that they know what's better than God does. Right? Just think about all the perversions that is destroying people with this transgender crap and homosexuality and lesbianism and LBGQ2. All of that stuff. That's man's reasoning. Believing their reasoning and justifying their reasoning that they know what's better than God's truth. Now, I'm not here to preach. I'm just telling you what's going on. The reality of the world we live in. And we all have a blind side. And that blind side is we only understand physical things, material things. So we destroy it. And we try to make it better because we think we know best. And why is that? Because man believes in their eyes that their ways are better. Yet, the end is always the same: destruction and death. So, hell, which means the grave, is never full, right? And destruction causes death because of pride, because of lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh. That's human nature. Think about it. Keep an open mind. Clear all the smoke, all the nonsense with politics, all of the propaganda BS on television. Go on social media. Everybody thinks they're an expert in this and that. Yet, it's the end is the same result. Leads to destruction, leads to misery, leads to death. The hell is never full. Destruction is never full because destruction always happens. And then death always comes of it. And the grave and hell is never ever full because the eyes of man are never ever satisfied. Think about it. We go into debt to buy things we can't afford. And once that feeling goes that you made a purchase or you bought something that you worked so hard for, that feeling is gone. It's a short-term lived, right? So you got to feel that emotion again, that desire, that one, that covetous. So you have to think bigger and you have to want more because that emotion, the lust of the eyes and the lust of the flesh and our pride and ego is never satisfied. And the most valuable things that are free, we intend to reject. Like happiness. Happiness is a choice that we make. We either choose to be happy and give happiness and share our happiness, or we don't. And just think about this. Look at what's happening in the entertainment business with all these rappers and all these entertainers got billions of dollars, but they're ashamed about what's taking place. Their wickedness has been exposed, and now they're ashamed of it, that they're trying to defend it. So all the money in the world, all the materialism in the world, eventually leads to sorrow, eventually leads to the ultimate destruction. Because that's what pride does. It comes before destruction. So prideful people, their end is never good. Look at it now. Look at social media. And hell is never satisfied. And hell means the grave. Through the destruction of man, hell will never be satisfied or full. Why? Because the eyes of man again are never ever satisfied. Just think about it. Are you content with the way you live? Do you crave more and more things every day? Or do you crave wanting to have and getting better at building better character? Because at the end of the day, When your time is up, when my time is up, when God decides your time is up, only thing that matters is your word and your character. So think about it. Look at the world today from an objective mindset, not from a political mindset. Because at the end, whether you're a conservative, a liberal, a Republican, a Democrat, it doesn't matter. The end result is always the same. Hell and destruction are never full. And the eyes of man are never ever satisfied. Let me ask you this question. Are your eyes full? Are you ever satisfied and content? Or do you always want more? Do you crave more? Do you always want to grow more financially and materialism? Why is that important? I'm not against having nice things, don't get me wrong. But it's the intent of wanting those things. With wanting those things and your eyes never being satisfied, there's always going to come sorrow with that. What do I mean by that? You have to get insurance. You got to protect yourself against a lawsuit. You got to protect yourself against being sued and being robbed and being targeted, right? Look at all these athletes and these entertainers that show off and brag about all the materialism they have, but they're scared as hell to be robbed. That's not freedom. That's slavery. And slavery of the mind and the coveting and the lust will always lead to false security. And false security always leads to destruction. Period. Now, before you blast me and you start to criticize, I'm okay with that. I'm not against making money. We all have to make money. But it's the intent of what that money is for. Think about it. And the common denominator to the lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, and the pride is money. Money is a false security. We can't do anything without money, right? But money leads to corrupting the mind, destruction. Leads to pride. You think you're better than anybody. You think you know better. Then shame comes. And you have to lie about it. You have to try to defend it. Right? So are you really free? Just think about it. Anyway, I want to share this topic. This is the Mindset and Attitude Podcast. I'm your host, Paul Cruz. This is story number 5. And just want to share my mindset with you, because to me, everything's about mindset and attitude. And mindset is the way you think. Attitude is the action you take on that way of thinking. And it's the cause and the effect of everything we do. Because our actions are tied to our thoughts, right? So destruction is the effect, right? The cause is pride and ego and coveting and your eyes never being satisfied. And then that leads to hell, which is the grave, which is never ever full. Does that make sense? So anyway, guys, I hope this was helpful. I hope it gives you something to think about. I'm just sharing my thoughts with you. Share your comments below if you like this podcast, this video. Do me a favor, smash the like button, share your comments, share your thoughts. Let me know what you think, whether you agree or disagree. But the bottom line is, do yourself this favor. Look at society around you as a whole, objectively. Look at the destruction that's happened. Look at the destruction that's coming. And then try to do the changes necessary so that destruction doesn't hit you unaware. Talk to you later. Have a fantastic day. Bye. The most valuable skill you can learn is to become a dynamic, powerful, and exciting sales person.